So today we're going to talk about the pigeon sport. Where did it come from? Why did we do it? And why it's such a fantastic hobby. Modern day pigeon racing came around in the mid to early 19th century. First long distance race held in 1818. Pigeon racing was recorded to have started in Belgium. In the UK, pigeon racing started to really take hold in 1870. So why is that important to us? It's a long-standing sport / hobby, whatever you like to call it. We need to protect our heritage of the sport. We need to attract new members to pigeon racing. We need to protect the members that we've got in pigeon racing, and we need the sport to make a comeback, because I'd estimate 15 to 20 years, if it carries on the way it is now, there'd be no more pigeon racing. Now, there might be racing in one-lofts, and there might be still racing in most popular areas like Belgium or China, where the decline is not as much as what it is in the UK. But in the UK now, our members have gone down to, well, recorded with the RPRA, about 9,000 members, looking at their accounts. Now that's 9,000 people out of approximately 57 million people that live in England. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if a sport / hobby has been around since the 1800s for it to just disappear and become extinct? How do we feel that we can improve the sport, attract new members to the sport, and get the kids off the computers? Because that's what it is now. A lot of the children are into like computers, playing PlayStations, Xboxes and stuff, and yet no one's really getting into pigeon racing unless their fathers or their grandfathers or relatives have had pigeons, and that's the way they find their way into the pigeon sport. Instead of bickering about radiuses and this, that and the other, you know, we should be coming together. We should be documenting our pigeons, the greatness of the sport, and we should be putting it out there for people to enjoy the content, like I'm doing with the YouTube side of it. I've got a following on TikTok, and a lot of people tune in when I'm doing the pigeons and they're asking questions. Some people have developed an interest, like, never seen a baby pigeon before. In all the years I've been alive, I've never seen a baby pigeon. Now, what we've done lately on TikTok for family and friends is people are actually sponsoring my pigeons. So they're chipping in a couple of quid a month, and that's their pigeon then. There's no reward from it, but in the future maybe there could be some sort of reward. But the fact that they're helping me feed the pigeons, say for instance, or pay for the training or the racing of the pigeons, it's keeping them interested, keeping non-fanciers interested in the pigeons. And I think it's a great way of saying, you know, this is your baby in the nest, you know, this is your number, this is your ring number, and you can follow the progress of how them pigeons train, race, how they get on, pretty much. So if you want to spark some sort of interest with your friends or your family or even your social media friends, why don't you give it a try? Advertise that, you know, just for a bit of fun, even if you don't want to send payment and stuff. It's only my family that have been like sending payment and stuff. But why don't you advertise it, you know, let's do a sponsor of a pigeon. That will then get non-pigeon fanciers involved in the pigeon sport. Now what that means is they are now following the pigeons' progress, following pigeon racing, and it might just spark an interest. Well, hang on, I want my own pigeons in my own back garden. I've seen this through the season of how, say for instance me, how Chris has managed these pigeons, how he's bred them, how he's reared them, how he's trained them, how he's raced them. It might just spark that interest. Even if it sparks interest among your family, like your nieces, your nephews, your kids, anything like that is got to be beneficial for the sport. Now, I was never a kid for sitting on a computer. I was the one that was out playing in mud, building my immune system up, as most of you used to. Keep pigeons probably started the same way. Now, every time that I'd see a pigeon loft in a back garden as a kid, I'd knock on the door. You know, I've said this before on a previous video. I'd ask for the old almond worlds, bit of corn, asked if they had any spare pigeons even. I was a cheeky little kid, but everyone sort of got behind me and helped, and I think that's the way it used to be with pigeon racing. Like, oh, there's a new guy, there's a new kid, let's push loads of pigeons on him, let's give him any spare equipment we've got, and let's keep him keen. That's the way it used to be. Not so much now. I don't see it now in modern day pigeon racing, where there's a lot that's pushing people with stuff to start up. There is people that would do help out. I've been helped out with pigeons and stuff like that, but I'm on about like the young kids. They are the future of the sport, and trying to get them involved is difficult. Now, I'm seeing a lot of retired older people that are getting back into pigeons, which is absolutely fantastic. But we do need some of these youngsters in as well. Since starting up with pigeons again, just after Christmas, I've had on team messages on TikTok, on Facebook and stuff, that have shown a real interest in pigeon racing. Although they're not in a position to keep pigeons themselves, they've shown like a real interest, which is great. You've got the lads from the Loftline podcast every Sunday at 8 o'clock. Tune in for that if you're not already tuned in. And you've got people like How to Train My Pigeon, who then developed Pigeon Pathways with Ian and John. Things like that are all pushing for the sport, and like it's doing well for the sport. So make sure that you're following each of them channels and interacting with the videos and stuff. I think for me, what I've seen is the rising cost of pigeon racing is a deterrent for most. But if you're new to pigeon racing, you're watching this video and you found my channel, pigeon racing doesn't have to cost an absolute fortune. There's pigeons that have sold for £1.9 million out there. It doesn't cost that to start with pigeons. A small converter garden shed. I joined to a Facebook pigeon group. I'm new. This is me. This is what I intend to do. Can anyone help me out with any young birds? I guarantee there'll be people out there that will turn around and go, yes, join the RPRA, get yourself a loft number. I can help you out with some stock pigeons. I can help you out with some young birds, anything like that. People are still willing to help each other out. It's not just a hobby. It's not just keeping birds in your back garden. As I've explained before in my previous video, it's all to do with a lifestyle. You know, you meet new friends in the sport. It allows you to travel, like to go into the shows, whether it be Doncaster, Blackpool, Poland, Belgium, Holland. So much involved with pigeon racing. It could be a full-time job. It can be a part-time hobby. What you put into it doesn't necessarily mean what you get out of it, but routine and observation is what's going to get you doing well in pigeon racing, in my opinion. Some people have naturally got stock management. Now, you're not going to keep a load of pigeons if they're an hour behind, but if they're knocking on the winner's door, like even if you're 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th place, you know, you're going the right way. That's down to your system and to adjust slightly to try and get them a few extra seconds. Now, don't get me wrong, there's an element where some days it'll peeve you off, you know, you'll be disheartened, you'll be like, I've put all this work in and the pigeons are down the bottom of the sheet. But then that one day when you win it and the top flyers come up to you and shake your hand and say, well done, that feeling is amazing. That feeling is going to push you to improve and try and do what you did last week. Most of it you'll forget unless you write it all down, but it'll push you and you'll be 10 times more motivated because you've won that race. Did you know that in World War One there was over 100,000 pigeons used by British forces? World War Two, 250,000 pigeons were used by the UK. Pigeons are responsible for 32 Dickens medals. That's the highest honour in any animal award. They've saved thousands and thousands of lives. Racing pigeons, homing pigeons, carrier pigeons, whatever do a name back then. And what do? We practically abandoned them. So all these pigeons that you see on the streets derived from the rock dove, these feral pigeons. Once upon a time, they were just abandoned racing pigeons. They were used, abused, and abandoned. Now that is a sad fact, that we did use such a super intelligent animal to our advantage and then just abandon them. For me, the love of pigeons is how they navigate home. It's one of them things that actually no one knows. There's plenty of theories on sense of smell, vision, it's the magnetic field. There's plenty of theories, but scientists don't actually know how a pigeon navigates home. But I suppose it's a bit like us, you know, without sat-navs, like we could follow the stars, use the stars and the sun's rising and setting as a navigational tool. I think humans have lost that navigational tool. We rely too much on technology like sat-navs and maps. But animals have still got that instinct. Like you've got swifts and swallows that migrate, you know, from thousands of miles away, they come over here. So it's not just a pigeon that's got the homing instinct. There's a lot of other animals that have still got homing instincts and stuff. You've even got people with parrots and out-flying parrots and, you know, coming back to them. It's a bit like Kez, but with a macaw now on your hand instead. What I intend to do with this channel is inspire people to start up with racing pigeons, whether they be new starters or existing starters returning to the sport. Someone that's just retired and looking for a hobby. Someone that's potentially suffering with a disability, whether that be physical or mentally. Because I'm telling you now, I suffer a mental illness and pigeons are like my therapy. Now, I've opened up to people on TikTok about my mental illness and stuff, and, you know, I'm not ashamed of it. But pigeons are like my therapy. It's like calming to watch them flying around, to be in there. It gets me up in the morning. Like my routine, I'm up at 7 o'clock in the morning, like the latest. I'm out to the pigeons. I change the waters. I feed them. I let them out. I check the babies. You know, it's something that's magical when you're connected with nature. What I'm looking for is people that are in the northwest area that would allow me to come and do a little interview with them for this channel, that don't mind being on camera, or if you're a little bit camera shy, you know, we can work on that. You know, it's all pre-recorded, it's not live. So if you're interested in having a loft visit and a little interview to help inspire new people into the sport, or people returning to the sport, then please contact us on The Racing Pigeon on Facebook. There's a page, it's the same logo as in this YouTube channel, and contact us and we will arrange a date to come out and do a little interview, do a little loft visit, and we can inspire people. And not only inspire new people, it gives people that are existing pigeon fanciers something to tune into, something to watch, something to pass the winter months, something to pass the Sunday after racing. Now, I'm not a pro when it comes to editing videos. I'm not a pro photographer or videographer, what you want to call them, but I'm having a go. I'm doing all right so far, I think. I'm still lacking in confidence myself, talking to a camera and stuff, even though I've been doing TikTok with the Grow Your Own Northwest side of it for 12 months. It's still, you have to be in the mood to be on camera, I get it. But, you know, if it's going to benefit your hobby, your interest, then why not just do it? I believe Josh Dixon's going to be me first. He's going to allow me to come and do a little interview with me. He is setting up his YouTube channel himself. Again, you know, it's going to inspire more people, give more people things to watch and stuff. But yeah, Northwest area we're going to be basing it on. Now, I don't want just top pigeon flyers to contact me. I want people that are flying out of an allotment or the back garden, even if you're not winning. You know, I want everyone. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do want the top pigeon flyers because I want a mixed spectrum of people where, you know, you've got your back garden flyers, you've got your big commercial type flyers, So the likes of, you know, Mark Gilbert, like, big setup. What a lovely interview that would be. Do you know what I mean? Sorry for name dropping, Mark, if you get to watch this video. But then again, Joe Bloggs in a small setup in a maybe two 12x6 pigeon lofts or a couple of 8x6 garden sheds. I want to interview yous as well. After all, yous are the bread and butter of the sport. The small pigeon guy in the back garden that continuously sends every week. They're the people that are relatable, wouldn't you say? It's going to take me a while to get established and to raise funds, to be travelling here, there and everywhere, to be doing these interviews. That's why I'm starting in the Northwest. Even if you're not in the Northwest area and you would like a little loft visit and you'd like an interview done and you'd like to be a part of the channel and a part of promoting the sport, then drop me a message anyway, because once we do have a bit of funding behind us, then we can expand our radius, our distance of where we can travel to come and do a loft visit and come and do an interview with yourself. And please remember, interact with these videos that I'm posting. Drop a comment, drop a like, share the videos to your social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you can. Share this channel about. Only takes one person to watch one of these videos and go, pigeon racing actually sounds a bit interesting, I might give it a go. Who can I contact? I've just watched him on that video. I'll contact him and see if he can point me in the right direction. My Facebook's open, therefore you can contact me and I will point you to the organisations that you need to contact to get involved. Also, Pigeon Pathways can point you in all them right directions. You can sign up to Pigeon Pathways. It'll tell you where your local club is. And yeah, they're a fully non-for-profit organisation. It's about time, if us pigeon fanciers want the sport to regenerate, that we all plug together and we all come together and work together. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for part 3 of our abandoned allotment progress, and we'll see you all there. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you all. Thanks for interacting with the video and thanks for watching.